Treasury. He joins me now from London. Lorenzo, really good to see you. Thank you so very much. It is interesting to watch the policies, under which Giorgia Meloni has rallied on. I want you to give me a sense on the economic side of things, because this is where it's going to be interesting. As we've seen from our reporting, is that people still have a very big worry about what this energy crisis is going to look like, and people are concerned about their quality of life. Can she allay those fears?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. I mean, the major theme of the political campaign was the cost of living crisis. And keep in mind that Italy is coming from 20 years of effectively no per capita GDP growth. So there is discontent. Voters are becoming less ideological than in the past. So they are trying with different parties. It was the case of Renzi's PD in the past. Then they moved to the Five Star Movement, then the League. And this time is the turn of Brothers of Italy. So we will see whether they deliver. Let me say that for the first time, there is a chance of some stability, because the combination of Brothers of Italy and the other parties in the coalition will have a sizable majority in both houses. And so this is a condition that bodes well for some political stability for the next 5 years.
I want you to tell me about your thoughts. We know this is a centre-right coalition. It's made up of multiple parties, but the neo-fascist rhetoric, many people are worried about in terms of what that's going to mean for Europe, what that's going to mean for Italy. But, as we've ascertained, the dissatisfaction right now on the economic front seems to trump other rhetoric and issues. Is that the right approach to take?
Yeah, I think it is the most important issue. It certainly was the most important issue in the campaign. And now we will see what the new government will say. And you ask about the policies and the economic policies that the new government will introduce. For sure, I think there will be a package to address the cost of living crisis. And this will be done in the context of the budget. Now, I think that soon after that, they will try to hint at the major themes of the political campaign, which are from, some changes in the pension system, some reduction in taxation, but certainly they cannot front load these changes. So my guess is that, again, there will be a lot of spending in the near term to address the cost of living crisis. Everything else will be spread over a number of years.
And I know that you're an economist and you look at sort of the data, but I wonder, if you have a neo-fascist kind of ideology in Italy and it's permeating, government policies, whether it's LGBTQ, whether it's women's rights, whether it's sort of, not being Eurocentric, does that then impact the way that investors are going to be viewing Italy? Is that going to have a detrimental impact on, investor sentiment, number one, and in terms of its relationship with Europe?
Well, first of all, I think it's probably not fair to call the party, the Brothers of Italy, as a fascist party. I think there are some links indeed, but these are very loose links. And indeed, most of the members of the party are younger members, and certainly they don't even know what fascism is all about. So I think it's not fair to call this kind of new group that is in power now a fascist group, first of all. Secondly, I think these guys will be tested on facts and policies, not programs and promises. And this is quite important. So we will see, I think financial markets, investors, the global community will closely look at this new government to see what is able to deliver, because that is crucial. In terms of economics, you are right that there are some non-economic social aspects that might be quite important, but I think the leaders of these parties said very clearly that they are not going to change abortion rights, for instance, so they're not going to change the right of gay people to marry, and this has been in Italy into law, and they are not going to change it. For sure, they are not going to advance on these issues, which was probably on the pipeline, but for sure they're not rolling back past reforms. Again, the focus will be on economics, and there will be on the way they address the cost of energy and the structural needs for Italy. I think, in my personal view, more than the near-term reaction, it would be important to see whether they have the ability to address long-standing structural issues of the Italian economy. By doing so, you touch on lobbies, interest groups, and we will see whether this government will have the strength to address these issues that nobody else has been able to address with the conviction and the effectiveness that is needed.
Yeah. And Lorenzo, and you're absolutely right, and to be measured on the policies which they implement going forward, something we'll be keeping a close watch on. Lorenzo Codogno, thank you very much for your insights. Great to have you on the show.